Welcome to the School of Thought. A meme is worth 1,000 words. Here, each one invites you to pause, observe your thoughts, and see things a little differently. What makes us, us? Our guides faithfully record every detail of our lives within our Akashic record. Each lifetime we live is one chapter and contains our thoughts. From our thoughts come attitudes, emotions, beliefs, desires, behaviors, actions, responses, and even our choices along our journey. The spiritual things we experience include required life lessons, legacy family patterns, karmic debts incurred or repaid, spiritual gifts. Our physical environment includes our genetic makeup, physical body and life experiences, every sight, sound, and aroma. Every single detail is recorded. As children, we have basic spiritual needs that, if unmet, can leave a gaping hole we will fill on our own as soon as we are able. Whatever it takes to numb the pain, we will do. We love to shame rich, famous, or beautiful people, but wouldn't our time be better spent resolving the issues holding us back from achieving greatness? Raising public awareness of corporate or governmental wrongdoing is an entirely different matter. Don't stop. Until we know these points to be true, gaining profound change or retraining our brain will be difficult, if not impossible. Acceptance of responsibility opens the door to a new way of life. It's true, when we know better, we do better. But somehow ignorance, don't know, or apathy, don't care, or both, prevent us both from learning new ways and putting them into practice. Do you get brain freeze when you feel threatened? Ease it with the following steps. Breathe, take a deep breath or two, focus on your thoughts to see what's triggering you. Seek guidance and ask your guide to lead you to a helpful, respectful resolution. Children live what they learn. Would that this information could be provided to all expecting parents. The universal intelligence accepts us without conditions. There is nothing we have to do, nothing we have to change in order to be loved by God. However, this acceptance can be seen as tough love because it allows us to experience physical consequences for our spiritual choices. It allows us to feel pain. It allows us to cause pain. A friend of mine was always late for appointments, yet couldn't understand why people were angry when she finally showed up. I asked her about it, and here's what she said. If I have a 10 o'clock appointment, I start getting ready at about 9:45. That should be enough prep time, right? Sure, but does that leave enough travel time? She said, traffic always makes me be late. Well, you can't argue with that. Her friends gave up on her, her mate was furious with her dawdling, and she was fired from her job for chronic lateness. Yet she still did not see her part in these situations, griping and grumbling how no one respected her. She simply did not see how this was her problem. Feeling emotionally drained around certain people? Might be time to look at our thoughts about those relationships. Taking responsibility for our thoughts empowers us. Only we are in charge of how we feel. Experience the wonder and joy of meditation. Use it to find solutions to everyday problems or to gain enlightenment. It's an epiphany when we gain sudden inspiration, explaining the why or how of something that has been troubling us. People complain about how they never get promoted or assigned special projects. Someone else always seems to get recognition, and they never do. Yet these same people speed through projects and make do with barely satisfactory results. They take no pride in their work and spend no time reflecting or reviewing, settling on their first impulse rather than improving it. Of course, there can be reasons for hurrying, but if we settle for just barely satisfactory, how can we claim excellence? We all have a few favorite excuses to use in case someone asks us to do something we do not really want to do. But wouldn't it be great if we could just be honest? Saying yes when we want to say no is a form of self-betrayal. Using excuses simply delays the inevitable, since eventually we will have to make a choice. It is not what we fear, but that we allow fear to stop us from action, to stop us from doing what we want or need to do. Fear of failure, of course, is an issue, but so is fear of success. Forgiveness is the gift we give ourselves so we can leave the past in the past. Without forgiveness, we risk staying stuck in events that happened years or even decades ago. Holding on to hurts and grudges can harm not only our spiritual health, but eventually our physical health. Believing forgiveness is any of these things can prevent us from gaining the joys of inner peace and a clear conscience. Whether to forgive or hold a grudge is one of our most important life choices. Before deciding, be sure you know what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness, the gift we give ourselves so that we can take on the future, free of the past. Our health will thank us, we'll feel happy, and our karmic debt will be reduced. It's a win-win-win. Forgiveness is all about setting ourselves or others free from a debt for causing or failing to prevent harm. It is our choice whether to commute this sentence, but know this: if we do not, our health will inevitably suffer for it. Not the other guy's health, ours. Enter chart at start. Are you still hurting? If no, let go of the burden and stop. It's time to forgive. If yes, is the offender still in your life? If no, let go of the burden and stop. It's time to forgive. If yes, stop resenting them and stop. It's time to forgive. Forgiveness is all about releasing ourselves or others from a debt for causing or failing to prevent harm. It is our choice whether to commute this sentence, but know this: if we do not, our health will inevitably suffer for it. If you only give yourself one gift this year, let it be the gift of forgiveness for your past, for your imperfections. Wondering how that could possibly change anything? Forgiveness changes everything. The sooner you stop holding grudges against yourself, the sooner you will be able to rid yourself of bad habits, and the sooner you will be able to heal your life. Enter chart at start. Was it really all your fault? If no, let go of the burden and stop. It's time to forgive. If yes, can you change the past? If no, let go of the burden and stop. It's time to forgive. If yes, stop fooling and torturing yourself and stop. It's time to forgive. Give your vibrational frequency a boost by replacing negative thought patterns like resentment with positive ones like forgiveness. You'll feel better fast. Everyone talks about forgiving others, yet not self. Forgiving ourselves literally frees us from the past. Not doing so eventually harms our spiritual and our physical health. It's pretty simple. Forgiveness helps us live better spiritually and physically and gives us a head start on our next incarnation. We can be creative when it comes to thinking up excuses not to forgive. But no matter what we tell ourselves, I believe we know within ourselves it is wrong to hold on to anger, hatred, or resentment. Not because it hurts the other person, but because it hurts us and our ability to live well. I've spoken with fully grown adults who, with tears in their eyes, tell me how their parents or siblings hurt them when they were very young, and it literally sounds as if it just happened yesterday. Nope, time doesn't heal our emotional wounds, but the conscious act of forgiveness does. Do you condemn yourself if you make a mistake and then punish yourself mercilessly for days and days? Next time you make a mistake, and there will be a next time, ask yourself, could I have done it differently? If so, why didn't I? Would I hold this standard of perfection for others? How do I react if my child errs? Who taught me to treat myself so harshly? The spiritual law of free will gives us the ability to choose what to believe, think, say, or do, and ensures we experience the outcomes of our choices. Those who usurp the free will of others will ultimately experience the same treatment, whether in this or another lifetime. The flip side of the free will coin is unconditional love. Free will gives us the ability to choose within certain parameters. And unconditional love requires us to be responsible for our thoughts and actions. Our spiritual growth is of the utmost importance, and lessons are presented to help us move forward. They are given according to God's timing and in whatever way the universe sees as best. We are tested relentlessly to make sure our lessons are learned. Give your vibrational frequency a boost. Let go of that thing you're holding on to just because you don't want someone else to have it. Could be a recipe or a book or even a photograph, an article of clothing, a piece of jewelry. If you don't need it, why not give it to someone you know would appreciate it? Life can feel pretty harsh at times, but this is not because the universe hates us or holds grudges against us. Karma is not punishment or retribution. It is a set of required life experiences we undergo as souls incarnating in human form. Ah, but humans hold grudges. Somehow, we think if we show someone we're mad at them, they will magically change their behavior or bend to our will. Letting go of grudges, also called forgiving, has a way of lifting our burden. When we make a mistake, we can just feel guilty about it and use it as an excuse to beat up on ourselves or as incentive to improve ourselves. What an inspiration we can be for others if we choose the latter. There's something in us that loves to hear stories that make us angry or indignant. The trouble is, those very stories may be false. Those who spread lies use us, yes, use us, to their advantage to help them spread false stories. Don't fall for lies. Before sharing stories, verify. If it's false, don't share it. If it can't be verified, don't share it. If it's true, it's not a lie. But be aware of your motives before spreading ugly truths. It's a real thing, this midlife crisis idea. I believe it results from feeling as if we are the only one carrying heavy burdens of responsibility or emotional anguish, that everyone else is just skating along through life. Something has to give, and since we can't or won't give up our emotional pain, we let our responsibilities lapse. Let the chips fall where they may, but we are going to take our crack at the wheel. There is, of course, another solution. Spiritual decluttering has the power to change lives instead of destroying them. Why are we here? To learn and to grow in understanding and wisdom. Source patiently awaits the pleasure of our return home from school in a few billion years or so. Until then, my friends, let's keep learning and growing. We claim to want world peace, but is it even possible? We've tried praying and that hasn't worked. We've tried group meditation sessions and that hasn't worked. We've tried bargaining, bribing, cajoling, threatening, and even invading aggressors, and none of that has worked. Why? Because we were trying to change others. No, to really gain world peace, we must gain inner peace. The freedom to say no and have it respected is one of the greatest sources of affirmation we can experience. Feeling we must say yes when we would rather say no is an act that eats away at self-esteem and self-worth. The power point within, contrary to popular belief, is not the ability to live in a constant state of bliss or joy or unconditional love. Rather, it is the ability to live in observation mode, seeing and being at peace with the human state in all its glorious ugliness. It requires knowing we are all on our own journey back to Source, and we will arrive there in our own time. Of course, we can help others along the way, but not to the point of making them do as we do, since that would be us walking their path for them. Before ever entering life in human form, a soul begins by attending soul school. From there, it descends into physical matter as an embryo where, all things being equal, it is born as a human baby. It will live life and have certain experiences. Upon death of the physical body, the soul ascends once again to soul school, where its progress is measured and its next sojourn arranged. And so on, life after life until enlightenment is gained. The soul then has options to consider. Will it exit the system in search of adventures in another area of the universe? Will it remain here to continue incarnating and serve as a teacher, bringer of enlightenment? To learn about who you have been in previous lives, practice deep meditation to learn your spiritual skills. Study history to find people who achieve things you admire now, looking for people whose lives resonate with you. To gain insight into the type of person you are today, look at your friends and family, to people you admire, to people who irritate you. You will likely see yourself in all of them. Use what you see to build on and improve yourself. The possibilities are endless. Who you will be will in large part be determined by who you have been and who you are in this current lifetime. The vicious pattern of self-condemnation. We make a mistake and then automatically judge, criticize, and condemn ourselves. Then, because we have condemned ourselves, we know we should feel guilty. Guilt begs punishment, and since punishment requires pain and suffering, we hurt ourselves in any number of ways. Stop the madness, change the pattern, forgive yourself. Let mistakes just be learning experiences. How can we know how to do something if we have not yet been taught? Toddlers are allowed to fall when learning to walk. Shouldn't we be afforded the same dignity? Burn brighter. Share the warm light of forgiveness. Do you know your emotional triggers? If you do, you can provide extra care and attention for yourself to work through them safely and healthfully, and avoid falling into self-destructive behaviors that will keep you stuck in a spiritual feedback loop. Have you gone thought blind? If you want profound change in your life, learn how to pay attention to your thoughts. After all, if we don't hear them, we can't change them. Give your vibrational frequency a boost. Replace prejudice with tolerance. Your mind, body, and spirit will thank you. Blaming everyone but self for our toxic, dysfunctional relationships gets us nowhere. Since we play a critical role in creating our relationships, it is up to us to clean up our part. Our partner is responsible for their part, though, not us. The sun and the moon disappear at times, only to reappear. We may hide our thoughts, but they will eventually come out into the open. This is what thoughts do. They create, whether for good or ill. Unhappy people must be deeply motivated in order to begin transforming their lives. We are our own worst enemy if we think the universe has it in for us. The universe doesn't hold grudges against us, but we certainly do. Changing this pattern is crucial if we are ever to feel worthy of communicating with our guide. Have you ever had the feeling you were not alone, even though no other people were present? You may have been visited by a divine messenger. If or when it happens again, follow the steps above under what to do and aim to be centered and relaxed. There really is nothing to fear because these entities are our friends. Most of all, remember, they would not hurt us because they are our friends, and they cannot hurt us because they are not in physical form. We see others and accuse them of doing the very things we know, deep within ourselves, we are guilty of doing. Spiritually decluttering our thoughts enables us to see ourselves more clearly, and this helps us to be more tolerant of others. Have you ever felt like the universe is trying to tell you something, but you have no idea what it is or what it could even be? The clues are all around us and even within us. All we need to do is pay closer attention to what we see and hear, what we experience, and most especially, what we think. This feeling is a signal from our guide of negative thoughts running around in our head. The pattern could be self-condemnation for something we think was a failure, or worry, or distress, or even anger we think is unjustified. Until we find out what it is, though, the thoughts will keep repeating. We think about everything we see and do. The trouble is, we don't pay attention to what we are thinking. Our thoughts sound like a running monologue until we stop and take a breather. People think mental telepathy is a real thing, and it is, but not while our thoughts are running a mile a minute. How would anyone ever get a word in edgewise? How can our guides get through to us unless we give them an opening? If our thoughts are filled with anxiety, fear, and worry, our breathing becomes shallow and quick. This affects not only our circulatory system, but our ability to concentrate and our ability to live well. Visit WikiHow and learn how to improve your breathing. If something in this resonated with you, you are invited to explore more in the description below.